It's really piece by piece work.
An effort to revive these historic cabins is in full force after decades of planning. Plus, learn how the city is helping nonprofits shine brighter in our community.
It has improved the environment with the lighting.
And I learned so much about this community.
And we look back at the impact this man had during his 42-year career with the city. Finally, learn what makes the Weatherby and Grantwood neighborhoods a great place to live.
I love my community. I love living here.
Catch those stories and more coming up right now on Iowa City in Focus. Although Iowa didn't officially become a state until 1846, the first settlers began moving to the territory as early as the 1830s. That history has been a little bit easier to tell thanks to two historic cabins at City Park, which are now in the process of getting a much-needed facelift.
This is just an iconic place for Iowa City residents, and it's unfortunate that it's gotten to a point where we have blue tarps on the outside and it got to that part. But the good news is it's coming back.
Built in 1889 and 1913, these two log houses have been a long-time staple in City Park.
These cabins are both listed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
There was a time when these cabins were opened up for public events and educational programming.
And it just really shows us what life was like during the early settlement of Iowa City.
These cabins were actually built by some of the foresters and axemen who first settled in Iowa in the 1820s and 1830s.
They were the ones that built their log homes. They were the ones that provided the lumber to build Old Capitol and the other cabins in town.
But after so many years in the elements, the 100-year-old cabins took a turn for the worse.
If you leave things out in the woods unattended, with squirrels and critters and termites and powder post beetles and everything else and mold, they can go downhill pretty quickly.
The roofs began to leak and water damage appeared both outside and inside. About 10 years ago, the condition had deteriorated so badly that historical programming was no longer possible inside the cabins. This wasn't something that just came up this year.
No.
This has been in the works for a long time.
This has been a long time coming. A lot of people have been talking about it for a long time. We've been looking for funding sources. We're just really excited to finally get it going and finally make it happen.
It was then that the city began working with Marlin to figure out what the cost would be to bring these cabins back to life.
I kind of started doing at that level the photographic survey of their condition and studying how they were made, getting a few very, very preliminary bids on what it would take to make these things up and functioning again.
High cost put the project on hold until funding could be sorted out. With the help of some grant money and a few private donations, restoration efforts are now underway.
It's kind of like a treasure. You don't get a second chance at it.
Meet Phil Grossman, the man tasked with bringing new life to these log homes. The roofs and most of the floors are beyond the point of saving, but most of the logs are salvageable.
These are in remarkable good shape. You're looking at bur oaks, which they stand the weather really well. And even though they look pretty rough on the outside, honestly, in the core of them, they're nice and solid.
To treat and restore the wood properly, the cabins need to be disassembled and taken to a controlled environment.
And so we bring a timber in, we're going to clean it up, assess what really needs to be done with it, how do we treat it, how it integrates with the rest of the structure.
Every piece has been carefully inventoried and marked, but not all the logs will make it.
And then the lacking pieces are completely gone. We're going to fabricate or source, and basically we put in a timber that's going to be appropriate for that spot.
It was amazing watching two men carefully take apart the cabins piece by piece. The process is slow, but it needs to be in order to preserve the character of the logs.
Every log and every piece and every chip was cut to fit.
To a historian, these cabins are documents, even more valuable than a photograph or written word.
I can see every bit of how they got here, the evolution over hundreds of years, and starting in Europe and then New England, and these mental templates and construction methods and how they marched, from the East Coast across the Mississippi River.
Just reading about it, watching YouTube about it, it's not the same. So when you can actually experience it, feel it, smell it, that's all of our history. So we can all take part in it, experience it, and learn lessons from the past.
And freezing that moment in time is why the city wants to get these cabins back into use.
We're going to be able to use it as a historical resource to teach people about our background, to spark the conversations about what life was like when Iowa City was first settled.
Phil says it's this kind of work that keeps him smiling through the long work days.
Take care of the resources that we have and the history that we have. It's awesome. So it's definitely worth the ride.
The lumber will now be taken to the Heritage Woodwork shop in Clemens, Iowa. There it will be treated and reassembled before being brought back to this site next summer. We'll check back in on the process in a few months, so make sure and keep an eye out for our next story.
This is just amazing. I love the camaraderie. I love getting a chance to talk to people about the different foods that we're trying.
It brings our community together to celebrate just our community and good food and our good local chefs. The food here is locally grown with farmers, and it's to increase awareness of local food with our community.
Fresh, flavorful food that I think that frankly makes Iowa City better. And so to have this type of event, to see the people that are supportive of this event, I think is just amazing, and it really speaks to Iowa City and its culture. It's all about sustainability. It's all about how do we support our local businesses.
I think the average food travels about 2,500 miles. So knowing that most of the food here was grown in Johnson County is pretty cool.
It's an amazing opportunity to meet new people and just talk about what's wonderful about Iowa City.
Keeps our money that's spent on food local instead of out of state or out of the country.
Hats off to the chefs, the downtown district, all the volunteers, wonderful job.
For nonprofits, a dime saved on one expense means a dime to spend on another, perhaps more crucial element of its operations. With that in mind, the city recently offered a way for organizations to become more sustainable while saving some dough.
All nonprofits need to carefully monitor funding.
The Free Medical and Dental Clinic has been treating patients since 1971.
The Free Clinic's mission is to provide quality, comprehensive healthcare services for the uninsured and underinsured in Johnson County and surrounding areas.
Barbara has been with the clinic for over 25 years, and she knows the true value of a dollar.
At the Free Clinic, we're able to provide over $5 worth of services for every dollar we received.
That's why she jumped at an opportunity the city offered up to nonprofits earlier this year.
It was actually one of the less complicated grants I've applied for.
The energy efficiency grants provided funding for improvement projects as part of an ongoing effort to increase sustainability in our community.
We were able to replace the lighting in our 6 medical exam rooms, our dental operatories, our in-house dispensary, our laboratory, and our staffing office.
Working with Mid-American Energy to identify rebates, the city was able to cover the remaining cost of the project. Not only will the new LED lights last longer, they also use less energy, which saves the clinic some cash.
The upgrade will result in an estimated annual savings of $1,363, and these savings will be redirected for direct patient care, including purchase of medical and dental supplies.
The improvement also has an aesthetic appeal.
All our staff and patients and volunteers have noticed that the lighting is improved.
And knowing that the money saved each year is going back to the patients makes all the difference.
$1,300 worth of savings is significant for a nonprofit.
We're always looking for areas where we can be more efficient and green.
Welcome to the Mayor's Youth Empowerment Program.
NYEP provides services to people with disabilities. Our mission is to provide individualized, dynamic services to those people that support and promote community inclusion.
With over 100 clients,
everything that we do is completely individualized.
The center prides itself in offering customized care.
Our goal is to find out how they want to live their lives and what's important to them, and then to provide dynamic service around their goals and their desires.
NYEP's building was lined with old fluorescent lights, so they applied for a lighting upgrade as well.
Not only because of the better atmosphere that it creates, but also because of the green aspect, the energy efficiency aspect.
Again, the city worked to cover the remaining cost after energy rebates.
The city was really easy to work with. Mid-American was great to work with.
It's amazing how this small change has already made a big impact in the service NYEP provides.
Everybody loves them. Everybody, talks about how great it is. Somebody said that they feel like the words jump off of the page a little bit more.
The savings are significant as well.
It's anticipated that it would save at least 20% on energy bills. With all of the lights in this building, that will add up to be significant monthly and annual savings.
That money then goes to better use than energy bills.
If we end up saving money in one area, we put that back to service supplies, activities, all of those things.
And while the window for this grant has closed, another opportunity to create a more sustainable community has recently opened up. As part of the city's efforts to reduce carbon emissions, a climate action grant was created to address and enhance local climate action. Area organizations can submit an application for up to $5,000 in funding assistance. The idea is to get a broad range of residents, businesses, and community stakeholders to stimulate creative community-based action.
The purpose of the grant is to get organizations or groups working together that haven't usually worked together before. So getting together and thinking about new and different ways to work on climate and getting collaboration.
Here are the grant requirements. At least one organization or group must be principally and physically located in Iowa City. The project goals must encompass collaboration and focus on climate action in Iowa City. Organizations that receive funding must submit a project report within 1 year. A total of $25,000 is available. Applications will be accepted through March 31st, 2018, or until all funds are depleted. Additional details can be found at icgov.org/sustainability. Don't wait, apply now.
My time with the city has been an absolutely amazing experience. I came to the city fresh out of graduate school with textbook knowledge of planning, but not a practical world experience. And during those 42 years, I worked with such an amazing number of different people. And what the comprehensive plan does is it's a community involvement process where we vision what we'd like to have the community look like, how to make it a better place to live, how to maintain what we have. When it comes to code enforcement, I've said that we're here as a resource and we're here to help people accomplish their goals and succeed. We're not here to punish people. Now, I recognize that with code enforcement, there are going to be times where you have to cite people and take them to court, but that should be the exception to the rule. Technology has streamlined our operations, has made us more effective in terms of managing information. We do our inspections in the field with iPads. We have electronic submittal of plans, so people don't even have to come in to submit their plans. They can do it all over the internet. I'm most proud, I believe, of of the staff that has come on board with me over the 42 years. They're very passionate about what they do, they are very committed to what they're doing, and their professionalism is exceptional. I really appreciate the fact that I had this opportunity to work with so many amazing people and to see the changes that we've envisioned over the last 42 years, to see it happen, to see the community grow in a very positive way. That's been the thing that I've appreciated most.
I hope you've been enjoying our Know Your Neighborhood series, where we take a look at the unique areas Iowa City has to offer. This installment takes us to the southeast side of town, a shining example of what a diverse, community-oriented neighborhood looks like. Welcome to the Weatherby and Grant Wood District.
One of my favorite things about the southeast side of Iowa City is the people.
The neighbors are nice.
I just always loved being here because I always felt welcome. It's just a nice welcoming environment.
Located just south of Highway 6, these two neighborhoods combine forces on Iowa City's Neighborhood Association. Ask anyone in the neighborhood, and they'll say the people are what make this a great place to live.
Like once you get into this point, like this side of town, then it's a lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of people who like to be out in the open and just enjoy each other.
It's a great area to raise a family.
I like it because it's nice, quiet, and a safe environment for my kids.
With a lot of other amenities to offer.
My name's Angie Jordan, and I've lived in the Weatherby Grantwood neighborhood for about 2.5 years.
Angie's actually worked in this area for 8 years, and her family loved it so much that they relocated.
We lived out in North Liberty, and my husband and I both worked on the southeast side, and we felt like we were part of a community, but we wanted to live here to actually be a part of the community.
There's great community art and bike trails. The Weatherby and Grant Wood neighborhoods are also home to 2 great parks.
Weatherby Park is where everyone comes to play basketball. We have barbecues during the summer, just have a lot of things for kids.
That splash pad, Weatherby splash pad, it's just perfect. I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and it's got the playground, it's got the splash pads. They can run around, I can hang out with other moms.
And Weatherby Park recently expanded with the addition of a new sports court. The new court offers 2 basketball courts and a futsal court, which is a modified version of soccer played on a smaller, hard surface.
A lot of different amenities tucked into our neighborhood that I don't think every neighborhood has.
I like that this park is very open to the community, so it allows us to have parties for our families, and they do a lot of community parties here.
Head over to Grant Woods Fair Meadows Park and you'll also find a community gathering place. These are 2 of the city's most popular parks, where kids swarm to master the art of having fun. Fair Meadows Green Space also acts as the perfect space for social gatherings, including a community band concert and ice cream social held there this summer. Events like these encompass the welcoming vibe that I heard so much about.
It's just kind of open for everyone to just enjoy themselves.
It was another form of the arts that sparked a new project for the neighborhoods.
Literacy is important to us. Community is important to us. And so we thought Little Free Library would be a good way to sort of make all that seem obvious.
Teaming up with West High, Angie recently helped organize a plan to put 22 of these libraries around the neighborhoods. That passion for education carries over in the schools, with Grant Wood being directly in the neighborhood and many students attending the new Alexander Elementary School. The area is also rich with human resources and support. A good example of that is the Broadway Neighborhood Center.
We just aim to be the hub of the community.
The mission of the center is to help families attain self-sufficiency.
We do early childhood programming so families can go to school and go to work. We do family support programs in homes so that families can set some goals for themselves to be self-sufficient. We do youth programming so that youth have something to do in out of school time, and then we also do some community development, so connecting neighbors with neighbors.
Another unique trait is the relationship the Iowa City Police Department have developed with many of the residents here.
They actually have become part of Weatherby's family because they're just around sharing laughs and stickers and, just saying hi to everyone.
And I mentioned diversity earlier. It doesn't take long to learn that the people here take pride in that characteristic.
I mean, everybody's like, oh, it's so diverse, but it's so diverse. Different ages, you've got renters, homeowners, students, kids, refugees, teachers.
This is probably one of the largest, most diverse neighborhoods in Iowa City. It's a very vibrant community. The sheer diversity of the community members is what makes it a very wonderful and strong neighborhood.
So how could one sum up the Grant Wood and Weatherby neighborhoods?
I would just say that it's close to home. If you like an environment that is really open and you like to kind of meet people and just, be out in the environment and out in the community, then Weatherby area is like the place to live.
Registering your bicycle with the City of Iowa City is a great way for us to help find the owner. It's very simple and there's no costs. You can download a form on the city website that you can fill out and mail back in with a self-addressed stamped envelope. We will enter that bicycle and owner information into our computer system and then send you back a sticker that you can place on your bicycle. If your bicycle is lost or stolen, it's a great idea to call the Iowa City Police Department and let us know. The make, model, serial number, color are all great information to have, and we'll enter that information as a lost or stolen bicycle into our system, and then we can check that against the available bikes. or you can call and make an appointment to come to the police department, and we can have someone take you to the bicycle storage facility so you can look through the bicycles to see if yours is there, and then we can work through proving ownership if you do locate your bicycle.
Next time on Iowa City in Focus, we break down how Iowa City's leaf vacuum program works. And let us know what topics you would like to see covered in future shows. Email us at info@citychannel4.com or reach us on Facebook by liking the City of Iowa City government page. Have a great start to the fall. We'll see you next month on Iowa City in Focus.